Sammy, you decided to go solo, brother.
I know, man. First time.
By choice or because you wanted to?
Both, by choice and because I wanted to. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But no, I'm excited, man. It's cool to finally have some music out under my name.
Yeah, I know you have a pretty nice following of people online, and that's one thing they've consistently clamored for is, when's your album coming out? We want the Sammy Boller album.
No, thanks, man. Yeah, I've been getting hammered with that for the past couple of years or so. So I'm happy to finally make some people happy. But no, it was I definitely did the record for myself first. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
If I can make some people happy in the meantime too, that's great.
So you've got a pretty unique guitar style. You incorporate quite a bit of tapping from a melodic standpoint.
Yeah.
But you don't just live there. It's like that's your playground. You still go and you still shred and you still, incorporate a lot of different guitar techniques.
Thank you. Yeah. The tapping stuff I've been doing more just like the past few years, man. Like I was on the road with my old band and we had a couple pretty grueling tours, so when I got home I was kind of burned out on everything I was playing. So I started doing a lot of that stuff just for fun, just late at night working on melodies, working on, just trying to come up with some new ideas. And like whenever you have something like that and you're playing, like if you expand on it, it's just a good thing to work on, So I just started just coming up with full arrangements, and then once I had a few, I was like, man, I should just turn these into full songs, So it kind of started like that, but I'm loving it, man. It's like I feel like I've only just cracked the surface on all that, on that style.
I think Kingdom of the Sun is a really good example. It's a good starting place for people if they want to check out. There's even video of it out there with with Friedman. Which is the amps you use.
Yep.
You want to talk about Friedman's for a second? Go ahead.
They're the best amps out there, man. Dave Friedman, who's the owner, is like a great friend of mine. He's originally from Detroit too. That's kind of how we initially connected or whatever. But they're based out of LA now. But he's helped me out so much, man. Like we do guitar clinics all over the world. We did one U.S. tour about a year and a half ago, and then we've done Europe a couple times as well. But it's been cool because I've been playing all the songs off the record, but obviously they weren't out yet,
right.
So you can get a good gauge of, where you're at depending on how people react to stuff when, they've never heard it before. So we've been having fun, man.
And so Kingdom of the Sun is the name of the album. It's
Correct.
Also the name of the song I was just talking about.
The first single,
it has that tapping element to it, but so much more.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, like with that one, it's like I definitely set out to write a song that's pretty heavy, that the tapping is the main theme of the song and the melody, which is a lot of the songs in the album. That's how it is. But the band still has a lot of energy, and it's a pretty hard rocking song. But then, when the bridge kicks in, it moves away from the tapping and goes into a whole other thing. But yeah, the main theme is definitely tapping for sure.
And the actually the first song I played from the album, just because it kind of it was the first one that gave me my own mental journey. It was, as I was listening, I felt like I was going to a whole different place, and that was Cloak of Light.
Oh, thank you. That's my favorite tune on the album.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That one's probably means the most to me. Like the past few years or so, I've been getting really into like Eastern spirituality and like reading a lot of books and stuff like that. And I wrote that song for actually an Indian guru named Neem Karoli Baba, and like at the top of that tune, I sampled him chanting Ram, which is like a Hindu chant.
Yeah.
And that comes into the beginning, and it's also in the bridge of the song. So I kind of wrote that melody, and that tune is kind of like a tribute to him.
It's at the trail too. It trails out with
exactly. Yeah, it's at the end too, and that's one where it's definitely like It's just a special song. I mean, like I always really love playing it, and it seems like every time we play it live, it goes over pretty well too. But yeah, that one's definitely like the most special one on the album for me.
Well, to get unnecessarily deep with it, what I really like about the visual is obviously light is how we see things, and a cloak is how we don't see things. So you have by using light. And there is an intensity, by the way, where things get so bright you can no longer see. But it's a fascinating concept of, being blinded by the very thing that lets us see.
Thank you. That's cool. You picked up on that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's Maharaji, who the song is for, or whatever. He was known for wearing, all he owned was a blanket. That's what he would wear. He would just wear a blanket. So I didn't want to call it Blanket of Light after him. So
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, that's why it's called Cloak of Light. It's kind of a similar thing. But also, yeah, I like that it was kind of like a double, kind of a metaphor as well, like you picked up on.
So when I come to your show, you're not going to be wearing a blanket or anything, are you?
It doesn't work for me. It worked for him. But thank you so much. I'm really glad you like that track. That one's definitely my favorite on the record. And we're doing a video for that one next week too. So
Nice.
We'll have a video for that too. Yeah.
Nice. Why now? Why now in 2020? Why an all guitar instrumental album?
I did it for fun at first, like I felt like I thought it would be a really fun thing to do. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, but I think the timing is great, especially now. Like there's a lot of great bands that are completely instrumental and completely, especially for like electric guitar. It's like, it's kind of having a resurgence right now, especially online. Like, there's a lot of great guitarists that are getting well known just online, and that leads to them being able to tour and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think it's an exciting time, and I feel like as an artist, like I finally, I'm kind of at the spot where I feel like I'm supposed to be, if that makes sense. So that's why I did it. I guess that's why now. And what other time is there?
If you can find happiness, that is always the answer. Period.
As an art, yeah, I feel so blessed to be able to, say I feel like I am where I'm supposed to be as an artist. Like that's for the first time in my life, really. I feel like that. So it's all good.
All right. I got to run you by this little guitar list thing that I do. I'm going to name off a couple people. You tell me what their playing means to you.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Let's start with, how about the somewhat forgotten Ozzy Osbourne guitarist, Jake E. Lee?
He's great. Love him. I got to go to dinner with him a few months ago with Dave Friedman, who we mentioned earlier, and he was in Detroit, and we went to Flowers of Vietnam. Have you ever been to that restaurant?
I have not, no.
Great, but awesome place, first of all. But no, he's amazing, man. Killer. Incredible guitar player. Still great.
Let's try one of the new guys, and I know that even if you don't know every one of their songs, you got to see him play live because I went to the concert, and there you were, hanging out in the crowd. John Nato with Dirty Honey.
Oh, he's great. I really like that band as well. But no, I think he's got a great sound and just a great player. I really like that band. That's one of my favorite new bands.
He fits in with that band. Like he does exactly what you're supposed to do within that band, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's cool because it's like it's a 4-piece. They're not doing anything else. Guitar, bass, and drums. One guitar player. Like that's my favorite setup for rock bands. That's Van Halen. That's Led Zeppelin. That's cool.
And I didn't get close enough to see if he had a bunch of pedals, but it sounded like he was just plugged straight into an amp.
No, that's more my favorite type of style too, man. Where it's like he's got maybe a couple pedals, but he's just plugged into a Marshall, just ripping, And that's talk about a full sound. That band sounded great, So yeah, I'm a fan of his.
I'm gonna try some grandpa rock on you and see.
All right.
I know you know a lot of the old stuff, but what about Peter Frampton?
I'm a fan of his, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome, and he's kind of delved into the instrumental stuff as well.
Yeah,
like he does a cover of Black Hole Sun that's really cool. He does it all instrumental. But no, he's great. I always wanted to see him live. I missed him when he did his last show here. I think this summer. I don't think he's coming back, but he may be. But yeah, I really like Peter. He's great. Frampton comes alive, man. We need the talk box. That needs to make a resurgence in 2020.
All right. When you said Talkbox, the other guy who came to mind for me, and this is getting old now. I can't believe that it's getting old, but Jerry Cantrell. Let's go there.
Amazing. He's one of my Alice in Chains is one of my favorite bands, and for guitar sounds especially, he's like way up there for me. Killer. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. I just saw him do an acoustic show actually in California a few months ago. It was super super cool. But yeah, he's known for his talk box, but I think for him, like for me, it's the riffs. He's got all the monster riffs,
bone crushing riffs.
Killer, just amazing.
And then all the soft stuff. Like there's as many Alice in Chains ballads as there are. Or I should call them dark ballads. I call them dark ballads.
Seriously. And what's funny from watching him play acoustic is you realize how important his voice was to the band. Yeah, incredible. Like really, really important. It was cool hearing him sing lead on some of that stuff too. It was like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, appreciate your time, brother.
Thanks for having me, Steve. It's always good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers.